Okay, Kenny, here we go. We've got two watches to look at for you. First one, 6105 from 1976. The movement doesn't look bad. I'm seeing, you have two 6105s in this lot. I'm pretty much seeing the same thing in both things. And the things I'm seeing are very typical for this era of watch, unserviced original watches. Doesn't look bad. This is actually, the movement is pretty bright, pretty clean. I mean, I'm not seeing any places, any high spots. The winding bridge is pretty tight. Hacking works correctly. The lower mainspring arbor port is somewhat worn in this one, as you can see. See that moving? You can look at the screw head and see it move. It's not terrible. I've seen worse. Seal in the crown is obviously bad, and that should be replaced, and I can do it. I'm one of the few people in the world that can replace that crown seal. Let's talk the numbers. They're not good on this watch, but you know, I've seen worse. It's just super duper duper out of adjustment, and it's running weakly. But these are all things that will be cured with a service. I mean, it's a little hazy, but once I stopped messing with it, you can see it's relatively clear. It badly needs service, and the winding mainspring feels kind of gluey. But there's not much else really to talk about. It's very standard. Hang on, let's move to the next one. This is an earlier piece. It's got a cool serial number, by the way. Number 4. The fourth one made in January 1973. This one is rougher. And we can see that from the numbers. Again, massive beat error. But it's running much more weakly and more sloppily, nastier. This one's a less happy watch in terms of its movement. Yeah, 140 minutes run really weakly. This movement also, I can see there's going to be some more things that we're going to need to talk about. Let's see if I can get some light on this and we can look at it. Okay. See this brassing on this plate right here? That is because this winding bridge, the bearing assembly is loosening up, and the winding, this is getting kind of floppy. And so as it's spinning around, it's hitting the bridges and it's hitting the inside of the case back. And whenever it does that, it throws up a cloud of metal dust. And finding replacement bridges for these is super tough. But people get really crazy about it. The only difference between, though, this winding bridge and one for, say, a 6106 is literally the number. It says 6106 instead of 6105. That's it. So I have good replacement bridges, but they're for a 6106, not a 6105. But I mean, so what's more important? You'll have to make that decision, that the winding bridge have the right letter on it, the right number on it, or that the watch is more functional. The lower mainspring arbor port on this one is far more seriously worn. It's moving all over the place. This one's really sloppy. The other one you might be able to get away with not having that done, but this one definitely should have it done. The crown seal is also bad, but that's not a surprise. Okay, hang on. Okay, here we are. But in terms of cosmetics, actually, they're pretty decent. Firstly, one of the things that always makes me so proud. We produce original crystals, obviously, for these watches. People know that we have made recreations, exact reproductions, made from originals, reverse engineered from originals. We're the only company in the world that makes these watches, they had these 6105s. Seiko, this crystal is called a 320W10GN00. Seiko made at least 4 variations of this crystal. My old friend and business partner Jonathan Koch, he was the guy who first reverse engineered them, had them made out of hardlex mineral crystal, and they're identical to originals. I mean, he did really well, but he chose to make the much later, lower Type 3 and the much higher, extremely early Type 1. Very few watches used the Type 1. He did not do the Type 2. And after he passed his crystals to us and he passed away, getting all these 6105s, original unrestored 6105s like this, and so many would have a Type 2 in them. This is a Type 2. And so we said, you know, what the heck? And we had the Type 2s recreated. We're the only company in the world that makes the Type 2 crystal. And it is identical to this. So both of these watches, 1976, 1973, would have come out with a Type 2. And I can put a Type 2 in both of these watches. This, I don't know what is in this. It's an extremely low crystal. I don't know what it is. I mean, you can keep it if you want, but if it were me, I would put a Type 2 in it. Cosmetically, I mean, you really don't need anything. These just need to be, these just need to be cleaned with new crystals and new seals. There's really not much else to say. You were worried about this one because the ring rotates, it doesn't click. And good news, it's just that the click ball right here, the click ball's missing. That's it. I put a new click ball in it and it'll click along happily. So that's really it. This is a nice watch. I mean, they're nice. They're both nice watches, but this, like the dial and hands on this one, that's really good. It's really, really nice. I mean, if you had this dial and hands with this rotating ring, whew, that's nice. But no, they're both worth it. Absolutely. So service, seals, crown rebuild on both. Definitely the lower arbor port mainspring repair on this one, possibly on this one. I'll have to look at it. This one, it's really worn. Click ball here, and possibly a winding bridge. But again, I can't get a 6105 one. I'd have to use like a 6106 or 6119. But they're basically, except for that number, they're exactly the same. Nice watches, though. Thank you for sending me in. You tell me what you want done.